Okay, so right out of the owner's manual from the Ninja Foodi XL pressure cooker steam fryer with Smartlid, meaning the one with only one lid, I have picked one of their one pot Kickstarter recipes, but it's an entire meal, all done at the same time, and it is the herb chicken with lemony steamed broccoli and penne marinara. And I've got almost everything they want here, with the exception of maybe fresh lemons and some garlic, but it doesn't matter. We're going to put it together like it is, and it looks like a really good recipe, and that's what we're about to find out. It is getting a little late, so let's get this started. Okay, so right here is everything they want and their directions, and you're going to get this. It's part of the what you get when you buy the machine, so you'll have it. And of course, you could, pause this and take a look at it a little better, but if you buy it, you'll have it. Now, it doesn't specify, or I couldn't find where it said whether they wanted what type chicken breast they wanted. So I'm using Boneless Skinless chicken breast from Costco, by the way, and that looks like what they use. So most everything else I've got, like I said, with the exception of, I think, the only thing I'm missing is the fresh lemons that you cut up and some garlic, which no big deal. I'm going to use that for that, and I'm not real crazy about garlic sometimes anyhow. So there's my flowerettes. There's the pasta, the marinara we're going to use. And I'm just going to kind of get it started and walk you through it as we go. I'll start with this step right here, and be right back when I get that going. It wants 2 jars, 24 ounces each, of the marinara. Well, these are 28, so I've removed 8 ounces from one of those jars, which will give me 48 ounces of marinara. I've got 3 cups of chicken stock right here, and then this is a 1-pound box of penne. So what I'm about to do is put all that in there, come back on the next step. Just wanted to show you where I'm at, and there is the chicken stock, and what I'm using is Rayo's, which I love. I've got a video on the stuff, another video. I love it. But anyhow, that's what I'm using. I'm also using, just because they asked for it, I probably would just be normally using my normal avocado oil, but because they asked for olive oil on the flowerettes and canola oil on the chicken, and so that's what I'm using, just for the record. Just wanted you to know. Not that I think it would hurt to use whatever you got, my point. There's the 3 tablespoons of the ranch dressing. Here's the broccoli flowerettes I'm using. They're from Costco, if that matters to you. And I haven't added these yet. It's 1 pound, as I said. And I just want to get everything ready. And then here's my aluminum foil that I'm going to. If you read the instructions, I got to put this in. But the lemon juice, the salt, pepper, everything it calls for except the garlic is there. The canola oil's here, and I'm fixing to, once I put them on there and kind of get ready to put the last step, I'm going to cover those, and I'll bring y'all back when it's time to start this machine, probably. See y'all then. Okay, so here's where I'm up against, and I just wanted to, I'm going to go ahead and just let the video run. I may try and edit some of it out, but you can see it asked for, in there, if you read it, it wanted 4 chicken breasts, 1 inch thick. Well, there's 4 chicken breasts, and it's, in other words, it's kind of crowded, but I'm going to go with what they say. Now, I would, in better judgment, I would probably have just, done 3, but because I'm trying to stick to the recipe, that's it. Now, I've already done the other side. I didn't do it quite this liberally, but I did. I put some on there, and the oil, of course, is already there, like I said. And I'll also say, I'm a little bit, that element's really close. I've already ran into that on a couple times, but we're going to find out if it kind of burns the chicken any. And if any concern I have, other than them being a little crowded, that would be it. The broccoli flowerettes are there. Here go my penne pasta. I got to stir that up a little bit. So we do that. And all I want to do is just get those covered and kind of submerged. And I'll be stepping around the camera, but I'm going to see if I can, you can just look in there if you want to. There you go. And there's a lot of liquid in there, but I mean, I've done one pot pastas before, and that is kind of the case. All right, but you see right here, here's something you kind of need to pay attention to, and I hope this is going to work as good as I think. You turn your top rack like this, and then you make sure that piece lines up. And you may already know this, and I'm sure most do, but I'm going to make sure they're all just like that. In fact, that'll do. Now, you just want to make sure you pick it up by the right piece, which is that one. I'm going to set it in there, and then I got to make sure it goes to the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and close that, and then I got to set it to 390, and I know I haven't mentioned this, but this is a steam and crisp recipe, but I'm going to get my act together, and I'm going to get my hands wiped off, and we're going to get the time set right. I'll be right back. We're on steam and crisp, and that's what they want, 390 for 10 minutes, and that's their direction. So, whoops, it went a little further than I wanted. 10, we're here, we're open. Start, stop. We are off and running, and I'll be back when that happens. Okay, just for the record, it just started on its, it finished its preheat, and that took 20 minutes. And that's because there's so much liquid in there. You know, it takes a while for it to get it all hot. But anyway, here's the breast I'm using. They came from Costco, and they are somewhat different sizes, and maybe they are larger than some, but anyhow, you saw my situation. They were kind of large to put 4 of them on that rack, but you know, just keep that in mind. All right, we're coming up on the last 4 seconds. We're going to obviously do the Thermopin thing. There's the end. I'll let it wind down a little bit further, and what do we have? First time it's been opened, and it looks a lot like their picture, as a matter of fact. If you look right there, that's pretty close. Let's just see what the temp is, which we're a little low. Again, these are thick breast, so we may have to let it go a little bit. It's 140. I'll have to let that go. Now, this one right here is trying to fall down in the side, and it's because I had it hanging. I mean, no big deal. But I'm gonna put in another, I don't know, 5 minutes, and then check them again, because they're bigger breast, and I think that is, I really do think that is the issue. So I think you have to hit. I always just turn them all the way off. We'll go right there, turn it all the way off, go back to steam and crisp. We're at 390. I'll take it down to 5 minutes. Hit start, and hopefully it doesn't preheat, and it doesn't, so we're off and running, and we'll check it again in a minute. Okay, so we're coming up on the extra 4 minutes, which would be a 14-minute cook, and quite honestly, and I may have said it, they're for tomorrow, so I'm going to reheat them. I don't want to dry them out, but they look excellent. So let's just see what we got right here. 156. I'm good with 156, and that's the lowest number I saw. 160. I'm good with that. I'm good with all of them. In fact, some of them may already be too far. So we're going to get my gloves on, and we're going to set them out of there. Let me make sure everything looks good on the camera. I may have to move it back a little bit to do some of this, but we're going to try it. I'm going to set it on this sheet pan, and then we'll kind of go from there. Let's see what happens. And then we got to stir that pasta, of course. There that goes. I'll show you what it looks like right there before anything happens. And it looks okay. I don't see any problem with it. Now, it looks a little, a lot of liquid there, but be honest with you, that's always happens. And even when I do one-pot spaghetti, and it usually absorbs it up a little bit. I think they went about a half a cup of liquid more than I do, but I mean, I've done it several ways. I can't imagine that being a big deal, but I think once that sits there, in fact, there's really nothing wrong with it, just like that. But I'm having to reach around this lid to stir it. So I'm going to cut this. I'm going to shut the camera down. And honestly, that looks really good. I'm super impressed so far. So I'm going to let that sit a minute, do some absorption, and stir it up real good, and be back. Okay, I'm just going to kind of run the camera while I'm doing this, and maybe I edit out some if I have to, but I'm going to set these pieces off, and they are rather hot, but I'm going to try and do it without having to put a glove or something. Now, that one did stick right there. Again, pretty hot. But as far as temps and all, and looks, I'm impressed. I just am. It looks just like their picture. I don't know how hot that rack's going to be, but it's not bad. Put that right there. Now we got to see what this broccoli looks like, and then maybe pull out some of that pasta and see how al dente it is. So, where's my towel? Right there. Oh, that pasta's probably going to, I mean, that marinara is probably going to get that thing. But, hey, I go through them all the time. All right, we're going to open this up. I got to make sure my camera's good with what I'm doing, and it is. And that doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad at all. Plenty hot. What we need to do right now, I guess, is I'm going to pull a little bit of this out just so I can check, like I said, the doneness or the texture, al dente, whatever you want to say. And hey, absolutely really good. Really close to perfect. And when you think you just did a whole meal in whatever that was, you had 20 minutes to 30 minutes or so, but my point is everything's ready. I'm gonna get a plate fixed so I can get some pictures, and we'll cut into one of those pieces of chicken. I'll be back. Okay, I have got my pictures, and take my word, I've tasted it. Everything from the broccoli, which is, to me, perfectly cooked, and the pasta, which is also very close to as perfect as you get it when you do it the normal way. Let's see how the chicken looks on the inside. I haven't cut any of that yet. And there it is. Well, if I can get one to stick. There it is, right there. I mean, that looks absolutely excellent. And I think it is. I'm going to taste it. I'm going to cut a small piece. And as it looks, it's perfect. Nothing wrong with the chicken. Nothing wrong with the broccoli. And nothing wrong with the pasta. Hey, I'm sold. That was an easy one-pot meal, and that's all there is to it. And hey, I love steam. I love using steam, and the steam and crisp works really well. So anyhow, hey, thanks for watching. Y'all come back and see me. Like I said, I'll try and do some more things with it. I've been using it quite often for a lot of different things, but this kind of stuff may become the norm. Y'all have a good night. I love y'all. Bye-bye.